Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be creating a little element here on our UI that's just going to display the character stats. It's going to be toggleable. I'm not going to show that in this video, but I will in the next. Last video I did mention that on the quick bars down here I wanted to have it where if you click 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 that a window will pop up and we can select what we want to be in here. Some problems have arisen. And the problem is not that I'm not working on it, it's that I need to create some images or else find images that I can freely use and publish with this project, since I'm including all the project files in the download. And I also need to come up with like what abilities I want. Like we have 5 abilities, and in the last video we have like sprint and some buffs and attacks, but I want to like figure out what would be the best, the best type of abilities we can have per slot. Maybe like on the 1 slot we'll just have all like attacks, on the 2 all heals, and I don't know what I want to do just yet. We might even end up not even using all 5. We might just use like 1, 2, and 3. We're just going to be working on creating a panel here that's just going to display all of our character stats and everything, and it will show our character level. At some point we are going to introduce the character health bars and a mana bar. That will be down here in the left hand corner, but we'll probably make it so you can actually move around on the screen and place it where you want. But that's going to be in a separate video as well. So to start off with, we're just going to go on our canvas here. We're just going to right click. We're going to do UI. We're going to create a panel. Now this encompasses the entire canvas, and what we want to do is just make this as small as we want. Kind of just for scale. I'm just kind of doing this by eye here. And you might not be in 2D view, which I just realized when I was working on some stuff earlier. If you want to be in 2D view, you should probably do that when you're working on these 2D UI elements. So if you click this and you see that it has this like white background, that means you're in 2D view. But anyways, let's go back to our panel. So we created the panel here. I'm going to click F2 on the keyboard to rename it. I'm just going to call this character stats panel. And I'm going to go over here to where it says source image and everything. On the inspector, I'm going to remove the source image. And for color, I'm going to do my favorite color, 1F, 1F, 1F. I can just exit out of that. And now we have this little UI element here that has that color applied. I'm going to go over here to where we have the anchors. And we're always going to anchor this to the... We're going to anchor it to the left-hand corner. So if we go click play now. So if we change the aspect ratio, we can see it's always going to be in that left-hand corner, because that's where it's snapped at. It's right there. Sorry, I couldn't find that free aspect. We'll go back to here. So it's always going to be in that left-hand corner. Now for my taste, I think it might be a little too tall. So I'm just going to change it and kind of just look around and see what I want here. I think that looks fine. One last thing I'm going to do is I'm getting tired of looking at this skybox for now, and we're not going to be working on the environment for a while. So what we're going to do is go into our style folder, which is in our assets folder. And we already have that gray material, which we used earlier. We're going to go ahead and create a new material. So create, we're looking for material. And we're going to call this BG for background temp. We'll just call it temp. Then we're going to go over here. We're going to change the color here to like a nice, just looking down here, maybe like a nice, that looks like a nice, I want like a playful blue. That looks playful. That looks nice. And we're going to go into the scene and notice that we have a camera here. We're going to right click the camera, double click it, see where it is. We are in 2D view, so we need to click out. So we click 2D. Now we can see what the camera is looking at. We're going to scoot the camera over a little bit. Doesn't really matter. It's not going to interfere with the UI. And what we're going to do is in front of this camera, just right click on the camera, we're going to create a new 3D object. We're going to create a plane. Plane is underneath the camera. So we're going to bring it out. And then we are going to revolve it to be right in front. We'll just do -90 degrees. So if we look at our game now, we see that this white panel is what we just created. I'm just going to go ahead and look at the panel here. I'm going to click this scale tool and just scale all the edges real fast. so it covers the entire view of the camera. All right, so now we have that created here, that plane. We'll just rename this to like temp BG. And then we're going to drag this BG temp material onto temp BG. Now it's blue. So if we click play, we see this nice blue background. And if we do press F8, it'll go away because we are switching scenes to our character creation screen. Just quickly fill this in, test, begin adventure. So there we go, there's that blue. So what I want to do now is I want to start putting text on this panel. So we're just going to double click the panel. We're going to go back to 2D view. We're going to see this. What we got to do is we have to create some text objects. We're going to do right click on the char stat. Just going to call it character stats panel. Right click on it, do UI and do text. We're going to move this text up here to like the top. Should already be centered. And we're just going to align the text itself in there. And what we're going to do is where it says new text here, we're just going to write character name. I'm going to do like straight line. And that's right beside, if you don't know where that like straight line is, I don't know what it's really called, but it's right beside the bracket keys on your keyboard. You'll find it. And then just like say 0 for character level, which is what's going to be the default. Then we're going to change the color here just because it's a little hard to see. We're going to change it to like a nice, just regular FFFFF, which is just white. So if we click play, this is what we're going to see. Looks okay. We could probably use a different font in the future, but for now it's all right. So just to kind of see where this is going to be going, because this is a lot of steps, but it's pretty much the same. We're going to now go ahead and take a look at our script. So we want to pull up MonoDevelop, and we are looking at the character UI script that we have, which if you need to pull that up, it's just in our assets folder, scripting character UI. It's already pulled up here. Okay, so we need to get this information from our other script called character info. Like we need to get player strength and all this stuff. And we can't directly call it from here unless we call that script. So we're just going to do that up here. We're going to do a public character creation script. And then we're going to go to our void start function. We're just going to say script equals game object dot find object of type. And then the type is going to be called character creation. And then we're just going to give it a blank. And we're going to end it. Now let's just make sure this is all right. Character creation public. Character creation script. Script find an object of type game object. Okay, this should be fine. I don't know why it's... This should be fine. Let's just check something out. Oh, we called it main character info. Right, that was the problem. Main character info, not what did I say? It's not character creation, it's called main character info in our project here. All right. So now we are referencing everything from the main character info into here, and we're able to call the variables. So what we want to do now, if we scroll down past all this stuff, before we go to our before we go here and we are in the public update script. So after we do all the cooldown stuff we've been doing, we're going to get our character name and our character level, and we're going to apply it to this new UI element that we created here. So this is going to replace this with that text. So to do that, we're going to type game object dot find. So we were looking for a name object called this. Come back for that in a second. And in that game object, we're going to get component, the text component, not texture, the text component. I have this, and then the text itself is going to equal script variable that we created earlier. Now this is going to be the variable. So for the player name, we called the player name just player name. So we're going to say script that player name plus, we'll just leave it for that for right now. We don't need to add any text right now. Actually, yes we do, because I did something silly. We're going to go ahead and finish this script out and then we're going to fix it. If you recall here, we wrote 0. That's actually our player level, and that is not defined currently in our scripts. So we're going to go ahead and fix this. So this is going to get our player name, but now we need to add some text. So we're going to do the plus. We're going to do two quotation marks, do a space mark, straight line, another space, type level, add another space, and then we're going to do plus script, which is the variable we defined above, and then player level, which is not defined yet. For this game object find, we are looking for the game object that has this text in it, and that game object is right here. It's called text. We need to rename that because it's too general. So we're going to click it, make sure it's blue, click F2, we're going to call this character name UI, or maybe UI character name. Yeah, I spelled that wrong. UI character, just call it char. Yeah, just char. That looks good. And then we're going to go back to our script here. We're going to put that right here between the quotation marks. That did not work. The copy paste did not work. It's UI char name. Let me make sure it's right. So I forget things really fast. That's right. So now we need to go ahead to our main character info thing, not thing, our script. We're just going to create a new variable called player level. And while we're here, let's go ahead and create our player XP because we know the player's level, but how are they going to get experience? So we need to track that. And so what we're going to do now is, now that we're in the script, we are going to assign these default values. So we need to say here, player level goes player press dot get ent, and then player level. We're just going to copy this. We're going to paste and we're going to say player exp, which we just defined above, which stands for experience points, equals player press dot get ent player exp. I'm going to push those in a little bit. Now we need to scroll down a little bit to where we reset the game, and we're going to say player press dot set ent. We'll do a character. Do we say player? We said player. Player level, and we're going to say 0. Now we're going to also do player press dot set ent player exp. We're going to set that to 0. And now that I think about this, we should set the player level to 1. And for consistency, I forgot some semicolons. I noticed that we've been calling everything character, so I'm just going to replace player level with character. So we're just going to replace player with character just so everything's more consistent. Scroll all the way up, call this player, and rename it to character, 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 character exp. It's just important to make sure, just have consistency in your code. You don't want to have player and then character. It might get a little confusing. So we are setting everything to 0 when we reset, and 1 for character level. Now we still have to go back and add the what's it called? We have to change all this old GUI stuff on GUI that we did. We have to change that back to just using the UI at some point, but we'll do that later. So here we are inside the onGUI function, which we are going to be removing at some point. But here you can see that after player reflex has been set, we need to, in the background, silently set these variables. So setting player level and exp. So the thinking is, when you create a new character, you're going to be starting from scratch. So we're just going to say player press dot set int, and we're going to go ahead and just set our character level. We're going to set it to 1. We're going to start at 1. I'm just going to copy this, paste, and set character exp to 0. Right, so we shouldn't be having any errors now. So if we go ahead and check out our script, if we go to console, we can clear. We are getting an error. Oh, player level. We still reference that in our UI script. This is called character name, and this is character level. So if we clear, see if we click play, we're still getting errors. Text. Oh, oh, I'm funny. So I did forget to. I'm pretty sure that's what I did. Yeah, so in their character UI, I do need to call the Unity UI package. So we're going to say using Unity engine dot UI character name. Something's wrong. Character name is. Did we not call it character name? Oh, so I did. Wait a second. Okay, so this is where the confusion is. I called all the player press character, but I called all the variables player. So let's just fix that real fast. That was a big mistake on my part. You all probably saw me doing that, and I didn't see it. So we're just going to rename all the variables to player real fast. I feel so embarrassed I did that. I knew I was going to do something like this at some point. I just knew it. So let's see where we reference it. That should be the only problem, though, because I don't think we referenced. Yeah, the only place we set these variables are here. All right, so player name is what we want. Player name and player ex. No, it's player level here. So now, if we go into our script, we should see test, but we see level 0. Why do we see level 0? Everything was set before that script was run. So by default, the integer is going to be 0. So if we click F8, we are resetting everything, and we're going to just type, whatever. We'll do like hello, and then we'll add some strength and all this stuff. Oops. We need one more point. Put again adventure. There we go. So we have our character named hello, and here level 1. But we're gonna go ahead and do this with all of our abilities. So just real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and move this window over here to my other monitor, so I can just reference all of our ability names. And we're gonna go here to our character panel. Zoom in a little bit, and let's just figure out. We have strength, defense, dexterity, sanity, and reflexes for our five. What is the word? Attributes. So we need to create 10 separate windows here. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do underneath. Actually, just do under the character panel itself. We're going to do new UI text. And we're going to just scoot that up. We're just going to be eyeballing this. Okay, so we don't want to do the scale. I did not mean to scale that like that. Ignore that, did that. Width, we're going to do it to like maybe 70? 70 might be. No, it's too little. 100. 100 looks good. And height, we'll do 20. This is a lot of eyeballing, as you'll see here. Copy and paste that down, and we do a position. this new element here, we're just going to scoot it down a little bit. See what looks good. That looks good. We're going to Control C, Control V. Do the same thing here. Do it one more time. Control C, Control V. And once more for the last one. Control C, Control V. That looks good, I think. Sure. Maybe they could have a little bit more room. So if I just scoot this one down, scoot that one down, we'll scoot them all down. So this is, I hope this is even. That one looks a little too far. Looks a little too far. That one looks definitely a little too far. That looks okay to me. So what we're going to do here is we need to make sure these are in order. So we're going to call this first text element here, we're just going to call it strength. We'll call it UI strength. And this next one, we're going to call it UI defense. Our third one here, we're going to call it UI dexterity. I really hope I spelled that right. Next one's going to be called UI sanity. I'm going insane right now. And the final one, UI reflexes. Awesome. And for all of these, we're going to want to go to strength. And where it says text, we got to type strength. We're going to change the color here to be white. You can change it to whatever color you want. Here for defense, we're going to type defense. Change it to white, which is just FFF if you prefer to type that. Dexterity, we're going to have to type that in. XTERITY, I think. Change color to white. Sanity, type it in. Change color to white. And then reflexes. Change that color to white. Awesome. Now we're halfway done. We need to go ahead and move this text, like just duplicate it, but move it over here. So we're going to do Control C. We're going to copy all this. So just hold Shift, click character name, and then click reflexes. That's all copied, or not copied, but highlighted. We're going to do Control C on the keyboard, Control V. We're going to scoot that over. Notice that I accidentally included the character name. That's fine, we'll remove that in a second. So I'm just gonna move that maybe like there, maybe. We're gonna go ahead and delete that character name, the extra character name we created. And on all of these, actually, I'm just gonna hit Shift and select all of them from reflexes to strength, which is just all of these, and just go ahead and center all of that. I think that might look better. All right, that does look better. And then on all this text, we can leave the text as is. And we're gonna just move it. So we're gonna just type, we're just gonna move it. So we're just gonna move all of this. So we're gonna rename UI strength to UI strength. We're just gonna do UI strength text and do the same with all these other ones. UI defense text, UI dexterity text, UI sanity text, and UI reflexes text. Next thing I want to do is just put these all in the correct hierarchy. So UI strength test needs to go text, needs to go under UI strength. So we just click it, left click and drag it. I'm just going to put it underneath strength. So make sure strength is highlighted. Now it's a child of strength. Same for defense. Select it, put it underneath defense. Reflexes, we were looking for, that's its own thing. Reflexes, here we go. Dexterity, there we go. And sanity. This is awesome, we're getting a lot done. So now we want to go back to our script here. Pull it back over. I'm going to go to character UI. And here where we did all this player level stuff, you're going to do the same thing but for everything else. So I'm just going to copy this much. And I'm going to end it with a semicolon. And just to make sure it's working, let's go find a text. UI strength text. So we'll do UI. And we're going to say, I think it's called player strength is what we called it. So we should be able to run this. We have an error. Oh, so strength is an integer and text is a string. So we have to call a special function. And that function that we have to do is just do type period to entable. I think it's toString. Then do that and that. So now it's going to convert the integer to a string for us so we can actually see it. And strength 5. So now all we have to do is do it for the rest of these. So it'd be real fast. If we go here, so we did one of them. Here's the second, third, fourth, and fifth. So we have strength. Now we need defense. Let me just pull up this window here so I can kind of see the names. So I feel like I had a spelling mistake in one of these. We're gonna find that out. Hopefully not. Click play. So reflexes has a problem. Let's check out reflexes. I think I spelled that wrong. Character UI. Let's see, UI reflex. Let's try that now. There we go, awesome. So let's just change these numbers up just to make sure we're not getting like any weird errors. We're gonna click here and play the game. Click F8, we're gonna call our character name Davison. We're gonna say strength 1, defense 2, dexterity 3, 4, and go ahead 10 with reflex. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. So we're getting everything. So this is pretty awesome actually. So we did what we wanted to in this video in that we created this little window here. I'll make it a little bit bigger for you guys to see it. But we have that window here. It's always stuck to that left-hand corner. We go to any type of aspect here, we can see that it's stuck there. In the next video, I'm really going to try to see if we can get this going on here. You need to keep finding those graphics, but we are going to create a keybind in the character UI script that will hide this element here. And we also still need to create our health bar. So next video is either going to be hiding this and creating the starts of the health bar system, or it's going to be creating our action bar selection here. Or it could be something completely different, so don't hold me up to it, please. I'm so indecisive on exactly what I want to do next. I have so many ideas. But anyways, yeah, that's been this video, and I'm going to try to get the next video out soonish, maybe even I don't want to give any time commitments. I was going to say maybe even in a few days, but at the very most, a week and a half. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this video was informative and helps you guys a lot. The code's going to be available in a few days, if not at the time I post this. If you have any questions, please do let me know. And as I've told you guys before, this is all new to me, so I'm learning as you guys are learning. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.